Okay, let's continue. So, yeah, that's basically what we know as an algorithm. Okay, so this is one simple example. Okay, I need you to open up chapter 2.
Uh, okay, wait, let me save this.
Mm,
I
just
didn't
save it.
print chapter 2 yet.
Oh, it's okay. Don't have to. Just open up your chapter 2 will do. I mean, you can you have the download folder, right? Yep. Okay. Yep. Just open it up. No worries. Okay. So for chapter 2, that's where the fun parts begin. Okay.
I didn't print it.
So
So,
no worries. You don't have a print yet. You just look at the slides here.
okay.
Okay. All right. So okay. So for chapter 2, right, this is what I'm going to teach you. We are going to go through the basic component of what is a C++ programmer. Okay, such as functions, the special symbols, as well as the identifier. Then we will explore simple data types like your integer, your characters. What else do you have? Like decimal numbers and stuff like that. Okay, then we'll go into your plus minus times divide, and then we will learn how to evaluate algorithm, okay, and code your own program. Okay,
Okay.
all right. So we will also learn other things like, for example, string data type, okay, assignment of values, okay, to your variables. Then we also have input data. Input data, basically you can prompt the user to enter something, and then you can capture their inputs, okay, for calculation purposes or for display purposes. Then you will also learn things like increment and decrement operators. And lastly, okay, some of the ways to output your results, okay, using the output statement, okay. Um, okay, so last lesson, you already learned what is a preprocessor, okay, then, and also how to structure your program, okay, and simple comments, leaving simple comments. Okay, and also write a simple C++ program, basically by copy and pasting the code. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we'll start off with the basics. Okay, so number one is call functions. Okay, functions is basically a collection of statement. Okay, just to go to your Xcode, okay, you can see that every single line, right? This line, this line, this line, and so on and so forth, right? All these lines, right, are what we know as a single statement.
Okay.
Can remember? Okay, that's a term for it. It's called a statement. Okay, this is your statement. This is your statement. All right. So when you have a set of statement, okay, we will group them together under this thing called a function. When you let me repeat, when you have a set of statements, you basically want to group them. Okay, that is used for certain purposes lah. You will group them together as a function. So this is what known as a function.
Okay.
Yeah, so far so good. Okay, so that's basically the term for that you use for function. Okay, go back to the slides. Yeah, okay. So that's basically what is a collection of statements. Okay, a function is basically a collection of statements to accomplish something. Okay, in this case, it's your main method lah. Is to execute the program. Okay, is to accomplish something. All right. Okay, so they have this thing called a syntax rule. Okay, are basically rules that we use to specify that these statements are legal. Legal means that it is okay to use. Okay, all right. Then a programming language, okay, is basically a set of rules, symbols, and special words. Okay, semantic rules are basically the meaning of the instruction. Okay, later on we'll go through in more details. Don't worry about that. Okay, can so far any question?
No
No,
question.
no question. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, there are two types of commands which I've introduced earlier. Okay, so I won't go through with them. I mean, go through them with you. Number one is a single line. The other one is multiple lines. Okay, so I've already demonstrated how do you actually go about using it. Okay,
Okay.
so I won't go into the details. Okay, so in C++, these are the special symbols that you need to know. Plus, minus, times, divide. Okay, this is nothing. Yeah, this is quite easy lah. Okay, then followed by dot. Then you also have special symbols like semicolon, especially every single line. Okay, for your info, every single line you need to end with a semicolon. Okay, every single statement have to end with a semicolon. Okay, this is a syntax rule within your C++, whereby Python don't enforce that.
Wait,
Remember? Yes, question.
would you say that C++ is harder than Python?
Yes. It is. Okay, this is because you have to understand that Python is an evolution of Java and C Sharp. C Sharp is an evolution of C++.
JavaScript is it harder also?
Uh, JavaScript is okay. JavaScript has been there for quite long, very long. Yeah, ever since the World Wide Web, which is before 2000, year 2000. So definitely it can be. I mean, JavaScript is also considered quite long. So they also have some syntax rule like, but their semicolon is optional. Okay, so of course Python is the easiest to learn so far, I feel lah. So you started with Python, I'm happy for you also. I mean, when I first learned C++, I also find it quite confusing as compared to Python. Yeah. Okay, I learned it in my polytechnics. Okay, let's go back to, shall we go back to your slides? Okay, so I stop at a semicolon. Okay, you also have this thing called question mark, whereby we use it for conditional purposes. Okay, later on I will explain to you what does conditional means. Okay, maybe I'll just put it to the right side. Okay, then commas, right, we use it to separate, okay, your parameters, or what we know as your argument, ARG, okay, your arguments. Okay, smaller than, okay, not equals to, this is not, okay, for your info, this is not equals to, not equals. Okay, equal, okay, bigger than equals to. Okay, this four, right, we use it for comparing purposes. Can you remember? Okay, later on when you do your if else statements, then that's where all this will come in very handy. Can? Okay, let's move on, shall we? Dylan, hello, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. Why? Yeah.
Oh, okay, can. Okay, because suddenly you are very quiet. You're writing down some notes, is it?
Huh? Yeah, I'm also eating.
Oh, you're also eating. Okay, can.
Concentrate.
Okay, so you are able to concentrate, right, while I'm teaching. I mean, while we are eating and listening at the same time.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so let's move on. Okay, there are several reserved keywords that we use in Python as well as C++. Okay, so some of the for C++, these are the reserved keywords. Okay, integer, float, double, char, constant, void, return.
Char, is it a character like string like that?
Yes, that's right. Character. Correct. Very good. Character.
Float
Okay.
is it like decimal numbers?
Yes, correct. Very good. Decimal numbers. Bingo. Okay, so float is also a decimal number. Okay, later on I will explain in details why sometimes you use float, sometimes you use double. Okay, it's because this one is 32 bits. Okay, the size is because of the size.
Okay.
Okay, then this one is 64 bit.
Oh,
okay. Then your integer, I forgot how many bit already, but this is for your numbers. Okay, without decimal. Can remember?
Is it 1 to 8? I don't know.
No, it's 1 to 2 million plus. You can have up to 2 million values. I mean the values itself. Negative 2 million to positive 2 million due to the size. Okay, then you have constant. Okay, constants, maybe in the future when we go through in more details, then I'll remind you again. But as of now, you just need to remember that they are all reserved keywords. Okay, so far so good. Your return is used in your function. Okay, void is used in your function also. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so later on we will go through in more details. Okay, so anything that you use within your C++, right, you gotta give them a name. So identifiers comes in very handy. Okay, identifier is basically known as your name. Your name for what? Your name for your variable, name for your methods, or what we know as your function.
Okay.
Okay, so your identifiers is used for these two. Okay, or even your class. Okay. Can? Okay, so and so on and so forth. So we got all kinds of names that we're going to use. Okay, so there's some rules that you have to follow when you create the name for your variable, function, or class. Okay, so here they are. Okay, it can consist of letters, digits, or even underscore character. Okay, that means let's say for example, right, I want to call it happy underscore day. Yeah, this is possible. Okay, I can name it this way. Okay, this is just one example. That means I can have what? I can have underscore also. Okay, I can have letters also, or happy underscore tree underscore friend. Okay, happy tree friend. So I can have digits also for info. Okay, so I can have letters, I can have digits, I can have underscore. Okay, so this is the rules, syntax rules um, of your identifier. This is rule number one. Rule number two, okay, you must begin with a letter or an underscore. That means I can't have three happy friend. I cannot.
Oh, must
Eh,
underscore.
this is not allowed. Underscore can. Happy, I mean start with a letter also can, but you cannot have three in front. Okay, I mean sorry, you cannot have a digit in front. Can?
Can be like
Question?
this. It can be like this.
No, cannot. You cannot start with a digit in front. It must begin with a letter or underscore. Okay, later on you can try it out. Don't worry. Let's do an example. Okay, so let's say here, right? Okay, I try to have an integer 3 number equals to 5. Can I?
Oh, okay.
Okay, when you try to run there, you see, unqualified ma. Okay, they don't allow you. Okay, but can I have this number? I can have this. I can have this. No issue.
Okay,
Okay.
there's like
Yeah.
there was an extra thing.
Oh, you mean yeah, correct. Extra namespace. I mean white space. Correct. Can? Okay,
Yeah.
but unfortunately, they will give you a warning lah. This is a warning. Okay, it's okay to have a warning. They're just reminding you that hey, Dylan, you have some unused variable. Unused means you create already, you never use it. Okay, they call it 浪费 lah. Okay, quite wasted lah. Okay, so
Is there a way
yeah.
to is there a way to make the thing such that they will like immediately stop the program and there's like a warning?
Unfortunately, you can still run your program with warnings.
Okay.
Okay, so they don't really enforce you that. So you can still run your program with warnings. So it's totally fine. Okay, let's move on, shall we?
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, C++ is very case sensitive for info. Your number and number, even though they are the same word, okay, but the casings are different. Okay, it's two different variables in this case. Okay, so number and number, they are two different variables. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on, there are some predefined identifiers that you cannot use one. Like for example, cout, cin, these are all keyword reserved already. Okay, so for example here, keyword reserve, you cannot use it. So you cannot have integer. This is wrong already. So let's say for example, right, I have integer. Oops. Can I have this? No, cannot. You will hit error. Okay, when you try to run it. Can? Okay, so yep, you can leave this. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, let's go back to the slides. I don't know how to shift back because I think I'm using Windows, so it's a different way of controlling your screen.
Can do control what's it called? Like the arrow.
Oh, control arrow, is it? So that's there. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay. All right. Okay, so come back to here. Okay, so anything else that I miss out? Okay, yeah, unlike reserved keyword, predefined identifiers may be redefined, but it's not a good idea. Okay, so goes to here, next one. Okay, identifiers, there are, the following are legal identifiers. So you can see all these are okay. Okay, this is what we know as camel casing. Okay, because we got two words, right? Usually the second words is a standard practice that you have to follow on. Okay, so you can see pay rate, right? Just now the rate was what? Capital letter rate, right? Because there's two words. Okay, the second word, the first letter, we'll always put it as a camel case. Camel case means uppercase. Okay, so let's say we have one more called happy. Okay, three friends. Okay, then we'll put it this way. We'll name it this way. Try to name your variable this way. You can see, right?
I can see.
Yeah. Okay. So try to name it this way. All right. So here
Teacher,
are what we know as illegal. Sorry, question.
we do like one word, now that the next word must be capital letter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that for like for it to look tidy, or is it like a rule in C plus plus?
Okay. It is not a syntax rule, but it is a good practice.
Okay.
Okay. It is not a syntax rule. It is a good practice. You can still run your program if it's like this. Totally fine. No worries. Okay. This is still runnable. It's just that it's not I mean you're not following the standards lah, that all developers set up for. Okay,
Okay.
there's a standards that all developer have to follow. Okay, because you have to understand in big companies, right? Okay, they don't just have one programmer. Okay, one programmer you one day can write how many lines of codes? Maybe a few thousand lines of codes, right? So you definitely when you want to create super big program like Facebook, right? Facebook.com, this entire big program, okay, that is on the World Wide Web and supporting so many millions of users every single day, right? So many millions or even billions of users every single day. Then you definitely need a lot of programmers to help you out. So there is a standards for all the programmers to follow. Imagine you come with your own style, right? Then another programmer codes his own style also. Then how would you know? I mean, you will have a hard time maintaining the codes. You understand what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there has to be some standard set up, okay, among all the developers or even the company or the organization itself. Okay, so this is a must. Okay, okay, that's why I will encourage you to always follow the standards.
Okay, I have
So
another question.
sorry,
I have another question.
yeah, please ask. No worries.
Can I throw it up to you on Google Chrome? Google Chrome, yeah.
What Google Chrome?
So what's it called?
Good question. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's this.
Okay. Good question. Okay. So okay, when you use the following command, view dash source colon HTTP, right? You can see that all these, right, are what we know as your source code of Facebook. Okay, they are publicly available because, okay, the reason why it's so publicly available is because, right, if they are not scared that you copy their codes. Okay, because all these are what we know as these are not the client side sorry, these are what we know as client side scripting. Client side scripting are only exposed to a client like you and me who are accessing Facebook.
Oh, wait, so is this like what's it called? HTML or something?
Yes, these are all HTML, CSS, okay,
Okay.
and JavaScript. So your these three chapter HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? Okay, they are what we know as client-side scripting.
Okay.
Okay, client-side scripting.
Oh, so it's like if what's it called, inspect element like that.
Correct. You can inspect element easily. Okay, and it's only exposed to the client.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so their logic lah, their algorithm lah, they hide from you lah. They don't let you know lah. They hide in where? They hide in their own server.
Oh, in case
That's
you
why,
don't like
in case you go and steal their codes lah. Okay, so they hide in their server ma. So your processing lah of let's say for example when they show the feed of your friends to you, okay, they don't tell you how they show it. They will just show it to you. That's it, right? You can't find anywhere about the logic of how they show the feed to you. Okay, all these codes are basically what they show to you. Okay, they don't show you how they show to you.
uh,
You understand what I mean? That's the algorithm. So usually algorithms are hide from the user. Okay, or yeah, usually it's hide from the user. It's processed on the server. Can? Okay, so for info, these are all illegal identifiers that you have to know. Okay, you cannot have spacing. Second one is you cannot have exclamation mark. You cannot have a plus sign in between two words. Okay, you cannot have two in front. Okay, all these are invalid.
Okay,
Okay.
so you cannot have any space, cannot have any exclamation mark, any of the
Yes.
other symbols.
Mm-hmm.
Then cannot start with a digit.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
That's right. That's right. Can remember? Huh?
I remember.
Okay, let's move on. Okay. White space. Okay, so white space are what we know as your blanks, your tabs, your new lines. Okay, these are what white space is.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Correct. These are all white space. Okay, you're not encouraged to have too many white space, okay, in your programs. Can? Okay, so this one try to remember.
Is there a way to make to like to like
Huh?
is there a way to like change the configuration of the of like the Xcode thing to make it such that even though there's like a white space, extra white space, like they won't stop the program.
Hmm, I don't think so. Like just now that issue right was because of actually I was thinking it shouldn't be because of the white space because you see here there's a white space also, but we can still run.
I think cannot have two, I don't know.
You cannot have too many. I think it's cannot have too many. Yeah, one or two is fine. Like this one and this one is totally fine, but don't try not to have too many white space. Yeah. Okay, can. Okay, so with regards to you are asking, I would say it's more of a standard lah that you have to set for yourself. Okay, so when you're coding, make sure you don't leave too many white space. Then that error will not come out. Okay, can. So okay, when we use a white space, like a space, a tab or whichever, is used to symbolize something. Like for example, right, when we were saying that okay, we need a white space, let's say here. Okay, this means that okay, this set of codes is within the function itself. That's why we have this white space. So far so good. Can
Yeah.
remember, okay? So it's used for different purposes, basically. Okay, proper utilization of white space is very important. Okay, it can make your code very readable. Means you can easily understand by anyone your codes. Okay, so now we go into a more interesting chapter. It's called data types. Okay, so just now we came across quite a few different data types, right? We came across what? Integer, double, that's your float, and so on and so forth. Okay, so when it comes to C++, there are three categories of data type. Number one, simple. Okay, number two is structured. Number three is pointers. Okay, structured, I will go into it later on. What you have come across so far is only simple. Like for example, your integer, your float, okay, they are what we know as your simple data type. Okay, and this thing called enumerations. Enumerations are basically user-defined data type. Okay, so far you will not come across yet. Later on in future chapters, we will go in depth into enumeration. Okay, so far you just need to know these two first. Okay, decimal numbers and integer. Okay. Okay, so let's move on. Actually, later chapter will show. Okay, so this is what we know as your integral data type. So you have character, short, integer, long, boolean, char, short, integer, long. Okay, unsigned basically means that it's negative values. Okay, sign means it can contains both negative and positive values. Can okay, they didn't put sign. Sign means they didn't put anything in front. Unsigned means this particular data type that you use, right, or to create a variable. Okay, let's say unsigned char my score, for example. So this my score will definitely contains negative value. Okay, that's why it's unsigned. 会不会很 chim? Is it very chim? No, Okay, then I'll go on first. Later on, we'll go through in more details.
But I understand. I understand.
You understand? Okay, good. Let's move on. Okay, so as per what I told you just now, okay, in your memory allocation, right, when it comes to integer, the value is between, because it's 4 bytes, you can see here it's 4 bytes. Okay, the value that it can contain is negative 2 million to positive 2 million. Okay, I've told you before. Then for Boolean wise, right, okay, it's either a true or either a false because it's only 1 byte. Okay, character is also 1 byte. Okay, so the value of characters is between negative 128 to positive 127.
Okay.
Okay, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, 1 byte contains 8 bits. Okay, and then yeah, ultimately it's all about bits. Bits is one and zeros. So you just need to know that, okay, the kind of values that can be stored in a variable of integer, a variable of boolean, or a variable of character. It's basically these three types of values. Can remember?
Mm.
Can okay, let's move on. Okay, the next one is what we know as an integer data type. Okay, so this is how an integer data types look like. -6728, 0, 78, positive 763. Okay, a positive integer do not have to put a plus sign. Okay, this they put for fun only. Okay, then there is no commas. Okay, used within an integer. That means you can't have this. 6,253. This is wrong. They don't allow a comma. Okay, because you know that in financial statements okay, usually they have a comma in the thousands or even millions, right? They have 3 commas or 2 commas. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how a integer data type looks like. Okay, so let's create a few integer data type together. Okay, so this is your program, right? Okay, let's do some programming huh? Okay, these two I'll remove or you want to create a new one?
I think this one we just do like the
Comment off.
comment off.
Okay, cool. So I'll just comment off huh? Okay, so I'll just comment off this one.
Because it takes like a very long time to make another one.
Okay lah, still alright. Okay, so oh yeah, sorry. This one I'll just these two I'll just comment off for time being. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to create integer a is equals to 5, integer b is equals to 6. Okay, this is how we create a variable. So a in this case is the variable. Okay, this is how we declare it. We declare by creating putting a data type in front, followed by the variable name, which is called an identifier. Okay, equals to 5. We are setting 5, which is a value, into a. So far so good. Okay,
Yeah.
so if I were to create for double, right, it will be double c is equals to 0.5 semicolon. Can? Okay, so can you try another double? Come, you try on your own. So double d, you type. Give it a number, no worries. Yep, okay, very good, well done. Okay, so this is just an example. Okay, now right, on your own, can you try for float? Create a float variable. E, yeah. Good. All right. Very good. Okay, something like that. Can? Okay.
Okay.
So let's move on. Okay, so the next data type that you need to know is, okay. So let's continue. Okay, so the next data type that you need to know is called a Boolean. A Boolean only contains 2 types of values, either a true or either a false. Okay,
what's it called? The while loop in.
the while loop, you always use this Boolean type. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Very good. Okay, it's either a true or either false, basically. Okay, so this is how you declare your Boolean. Okay, so we have a BOL, right? Boolean F, yeah, or T, yeah, is equals to true or false. Correct. Okay, something like that. Okay.
Wait.
Okay. So yep, let me go back.
Is
Okay.
it will it be like Python where you do like Boolean true it's like an infinite loop?
Yes, you can. I mean, in C++, you can also do infinite loop.
Okay.
Okay, your loops the concept of loops that you learn in Python is exactly the same as C++, just that the syntax are different. The concepts are the same.
So it's like for loop and all those.
Yes, all the concepts are the same, but the usage is different. Maybe the syntax is different.
Okay.
Okay, so when it comes to character, now this is how a character looks like. Okay, a character is basically a single character, okay, that you are using here. Okay, so this is another character. So when you declare your character, right, this is how you do it. So you create a char, okay, EFG, okay, is equals to
I.
single quotation, R, for example. Okay, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you try create one yourself.
Wait, can it be like that also?
You can't use double quotation. Double quotation is used for string. Later on, we'll go through that. It's used for string purposes. Okay. Unfortunately, you have to end with a semicolon.
Oh yeah.
All
Wait, so
right.
for here, if you were to do like all this stuff,
Mm.
right?
Okay. Okay. Unfortunately, you have to understand one more thing. A character, right, only can contains. I mean, a character can only contains one single character because the size is not big enough. Not like string, it can contains many things. So
Oh, okay.
usually we just put a single character. Oops, sorry.
Wait, so if I were to do str, which is okay,
Yeah, which is a string, correct? string.
hi, okay. Then over here, wait,
Yeah, then you can have a sentence.
everyone.
Yes, but okay, unfortunately the syntax is a bit wrong. First of all, here it should be ing.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
string, okay? And then here you have to use a double quotation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very good. Good try. Very good. Correct? This way. Can? Okay, that's how you create a string. Can also you have learned all these different data type now. We're just practicing it now. Okay. Oops. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so for floating data types, okay, this is how it looks like. Okay, you can have 75.924, you have 0.18, 0.0000435, -1.4, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Okay, that's decimal numbers.
Equals to like 10 times, I mean 10 to the power of what? Of like,
Oh, you mean over here, is it?
yeah.
Yes, in C++ floating point notation, it is in like this. But this is something that is not shown to you. So that means they are run in the back in the program itself, the back end of the program itself.
Oh,
So
okay.
that means when you're executing, right, they will convert into floating point for the program to understand. Okay,
Also,
so
5 equals to 5.00000 times 10 to the power of 0. You
I
mean,
mean they will calculate lah. They will calculate on their back, on the back of the program itself.
oh, okay.
But in your case, you are seeing this lah, the real number.
Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Mm. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so for float double and long double, okay, this is what we know as a floating point data type.
Mm.
Okay, so the range is between this to this. Okay, then this is 4 bytes, 4 times 8, 32 bits, right? Okay, the one that I just told you, 32 bits. Then this is 8 bytes. 8 bytes is 8 times 8, which is 64 bits. Okay, so that's for double. Okay, so it can contain even more or even longer range as compared to float. Okay, but usually we use float is sufficient, but I personally prefer to use double. Okay, there's even a longer one called a long double, but you don't get to use it that often. So you just focus on using this two alone. Okay.
You can.
Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so when it comes to floating point data type, right? Okay, the maximum number of significance digit for float value is 6 or 7. That means your single digits, right? Let's say 354215. Okay, that's around 6 or 7 digits. That's the maximum really. Okay, for double is 15. Okay, maybe I explain to you by giving you an example. Okay, so let's say for example, right, we talk about float, right? Okay, float t lah is equals to, let's say for example, like this 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. This is the maximum rate 0.2. This is seriously the maximum. You can't exceed this one. Okay, too long already. Okay, then for double, right, you can have up to 16. The precision can be up to 16. So it can be like, for example, oops, it can be like, for example, like this. Okay, copy. Oops. Okay. How do you copy? Oh, okay. Copy, paste. Okay. So this is for double. Double should be this long. Okay,
Yeah.
then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It can be super long like this. So you can see it's more of like 2 times float itself. Okay, in terms of the number of characters it can contain. Can? But of course, if you were to go on and exceed, you can't. Okay, this one it can't hold. Later on when you run, right, you will have an error if I'm not wrong. This float is too long already. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can. So usually it's around 6 or 7 characters. Sorry, 6 or 7 digits, basically. Okay, for decimal place. Yeah, for decimal place. Oh no, okay, is this one? Sorry, should be here. This one the size is okay, but let's say 6 or 7 digit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is too much. Right? I think it will have error. Okay, when you run it, still okay. Okay. Yeah, but for double, you can have a longer decimal place. So this one definitely is possible to use.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so this is talking about the precision in terms of the decimal place. Okay, Ken. So if you need a longer decimal place precision, then you can use double. Okay, so for financial institution, because I came from financial institution, we use around 6 to 7 decimal digits, this decimal place. Okay, sometimes we need to do some settlements, we need to have around 6 or 7 decimal places. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so in your C++, right, you also learn about this thing called arithmetic operation. I believe you already know them in your Python. Okay, plus minus times divide is very common. Okay, we have this additional operator called modulus. Do you know what's a modulus?
Yeah. Like get the remainder.
Very good. Okay, to get the remainder. So let's say
Python.
7 modulus. Oh, Python also have. Okay, good. So
Yeah.
7 modulus 2 will give you what?
7 modulus 2 1.
It will give you 1. Very good. Okay. So that's how basically arithmetic operator works. Okay, let's do some practice. Then I will give you a question, and then we can call it a day. Okay. So I've
How long is the
told.
lesson?
Sorry,
How long is the lesson?
it's 1.5 hours.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Is it
Oh,
too
it's
long
two
or too
hours.
short?
I thought it was 2 hours.
Oh,
No,
it was.
just
I mean,
nice.
it's on. Which I mean, you prefer longer, is it or?
No, I prefer 1.5 hours because if it's 2 hours, right, then after that I'll be like too drained out.
Yeah, too drained out already. So usually I stop around one. Okay, for actually for secondary school student, usually I do it for 1 hour because they have a shorter attention span. Or even primary school, I do it for 1 hour, maybe 45 minutes of 1 hour. I think for your case, I think 1.5 hours is just nice because you survive. Usually when I talk until here, right, all my students they are faint already. Okay, for primary school student or even a secondary school student.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not quite fun. That's why I like pay attention. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then good good. Okay. So I have introduced to you how to create variable. Okay. So this is more about creating variable, right? That we have just learned. Okay. The next thing is to use this thing called operator. Okay. So we have to learn how to use A and B lah. Okay. So we got let's say we use C, right? Is equals to A plus B. Okay, we can do that. All right, then we want to maybe output. Okay, so this is to output. So we do a O, okay, a C out. Okay, your C. Okay, and line. Okay, you just do it this way. Then you go and run your program. Where's your run? Help me press the run button because on my side, it is hold on a second. Can you help me press the run button?
Wait, I
Oh,
cannot.
yeah, mine I also cannot because it's the okay, run already. You can see it's 11, right? Because what?
Oh,
6,
so
6
because
plus 5.
but then
You
how
see?
come they Over here, right, they wrote like about C, but then here,
Yeah, okay. Let me explain. Okay, so your A is what? Your A is 5, right?
is it because they override?
It overrides, correct. Very good. Okay, your A is 5, your B is what? 6, right? So 6 plus 5 gives you 11, right?
Yeah.
11 you store into C. So initially my C was at 0.5, right? I override my C now to be 11. The result of 5 plus 6. Okay, that's how I got C. 会不会很轻？
No, okay.
Okay, okay. So now it's your turn to try out. Okay, what I need you to do is I need you to use your D minus your E, and then I need you to print. Okay, maybe you create one more variable lah. You call it DE, you call it J lah. Okay, J is equals to D minus E. I didn't declare J, so you might need to declare J. Okay, to declare J, you'll do it this way. Okay, so double J is equals to D minus E lah. Okay, so later you try. Then I need you to print J. Can you do both of them and show me? You try on your own based on the earlier example that I gave you, which is on operator.
Okay.
Mm. D minus E. E then semicolon.
Oh yeah, then
Okay. Okay, you have to declare you have to declare J.
huh?
You have to declare J.
Uh,
Okay, to declare J, you have to put a double in front of J. Never mind, you print J first. Yeah, correct. Okay, then you put C out J. No, it should be J, C out J. Okay, then correct, end line. Semicolon.
print out this.
Semicolon. Just remember, the semicolon, end line.
Oh,
No worries. Okay, run. There you go.
so it will do this, then do this.
Correct.
How come this is? Oh wait, because it's minus.
It's minus. Very good. Okay, can. Okay, this is optional. You don't have to put in this comment. Okay, comment is for a human to read. Human like you and me to read. Okay, it's not for the program to know. Okay, so I can don't include. It's totally fine.
Wait,
But
so
I was just now I was trying to explain to you what the backend was doing. Basically,
yeah,
they take the value of 5 plus the value of 6 on A and B.
wait, like
If you see.
yeah.
Can so you understand? Okay, let's move on. So that's basically how it works for arithmetic operation. Okay, lastly, what I need you to know is this thing called your BODMAS rule, okay, which is known as your order of precedence. You still remember your BODMAS rule, right?
Yeah.
In primary 5 or primary 6. Okay, so your BODMAS rule is basically what? It starts from brackets of what? Division, multiplication, right? Then plus and minus. Yeah, so the rules also applies in your C++ also.
Wait, I forgot about must wait. Bracket
Okay.
what? Wait, no, there's no O, never mind. D then division multiplication. Yeah, okay.
Correct. Okay. So your then plus then minus lah. So last one. So okay, so the BODMAS rule also applies here. So let's say for example, right, I modify this one, right? Okay, to be even though I have A, okay, I use A lor, huh? So A, which is 5, you multiply by, okay, like this, for example. Okay, so we will always do the D minus E first, right? Which will give you negative 0.1. Then you go and multiply by A. Okay, it works here also. Okay, help me press the play button, the build button. There you go. That's how I got negative 0.5. Because why? Negative 0.1 multiplied by 5. Okay, so far so good. Even though the multiplication is there, but you have a bracket, okay, you will still continue to execute this. And for info, you execute from left to right. So Bomas rule also applies in, I mean, which is what we know as the order of precedence, also applies in C++.
Okay.
Okay, Ken? Okay, so let's go back. All right, so that's how it works. Okay, so what we're going to do next is understanding this thing called an expression. Okay, so when it comes to expression, we have 2 plus 3 times 5. Okay, this is what we know as expression. Okay, it can be an integral expression like this, or floating point expression like this, or mix. Just now we had an expression of mix, right? We mix them both together, right? Yeah, we mix them both together because we have double. We also use integer. So we have integer here, 2 double here. Okay, so that's a expression. Can this is a mixed expression. All right. Okay, so let's pause here. I'm gonna give you some sample tests. Okay, to try out.
Yes.
Okay, let's pause here. Then we try these 3 questions. What is the result of this?
What's the result of what? 5.5.
Good. Then how about this one?
3/2 plus 1.5 plus 3.9.
You can use your calculator, no worries.
Yeah, 5.4.
Correct. Okay, then this one? Which one you saw first?
What's it called? 6.2.
Oh, you use calculator, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
But
okay, don't worry.
I calculated the 5.2, 5.4 and the 18 divided by 2 first. After that, I just use calculator for the rest.
Correct, very good. Okay, so you already know this. Okay, say similar to your program. Okay, your program is also very smart. Okay, because C++ library, the SDK is also very smart. Okay, they have been pre-programmed by programmers like you and me. Okay, or the engineers of C++. So that's why they also know about the order of precedence. Okay, so the library, that's how the library knows also. Can? Okay, so a few more questions. Let's try, wait, I'm going to show you, okay, I'm going to drop into the share drive, okay, on the following question. Maybe we can try it out. Give me a while, Okay, I think I have your WhatsApp. Do you have my WhatsApp?
I don't have your WhatsApp.
Okay, wait, you give me our WhatsApp view also. Please hold. Okay, let's try out one simple question. Okay, Dila, I'm going to WhatsApp you. Give me a while.
Okay.
Hey, your mom is also teaching, is it? She mentioned to me she's teaching.
Yeah,
She's
she's
also a tutor lah.
English.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, give me a while. Dylan, your mom gave you there we go. I mean, give me your number. Is this your number? Do you receive my WhatsApp message?
Okay.
You have web WhatsApp, right, on your computer? Do you have that?
Yeah, I have WhatsApp on the computer.
Okay, maybe you open up the question. You receive it, right?
Yeah. It is. Wait, no, not here.
Yep. Okay, this is my number for info. Okay. All right, just click on it, or you can drop in on your desktop. It's fine. Okay, just click on it. Okay, this is the question, okay, that I'm giving you. Okay, so okay, we just need to do result 2. Okay, maybe I'll just highlight to you what you need to do lah. Oh. Okay, I just need you to do. I'll just highlight to you which one you need to do. So you just need to do result 2. Okay. How do I? Oh, it's this one. Okay, you just need to do. Oh, okay. Think no fill, right? No fill, fill. Okay. Then maybe not so big.
Yeah, I need a mouse or drawing pad.
Sorry?
Are you what's it called? Are you using a mouse or a drawing pad?
I'm using a mouse. Why
Oh,
leh?
huh?
Why leh?
Uh, I'm just asking because what's it called? My mom uses what's it called? Like the trackpad, then don't know whether to use like the drawing pad.
Oh, okay. I'm comfortable with mouse lah. So I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so you just try these two questions. Okay, then tell me what's the answer. Okay, for your info, when you declare, right, like this, right? Okay, you can see here, right? When you declare, it can be like this also. Okay, that means you are doing multiple declaration and assignment at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, so this is legit. Okay, so you can have integer x equals to 10, comma y equals to 8. That means y is also an
Result two is
integer.
two.
Sorry,
Result two is two.
what 2 is 2?
The answer for result two is two.
Ah, oh, okay, so 8, yeah, correct. Okay, this one is correct, 2. Then how about this one?
7.
7, right? Because why? 4 divided by, oh, sorry, 1 divided by 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then times 8, then plus 5.
Yeah.
Actually, the answer is wrong. Okay, 1 divided by 4, right? Okay, this one I have to teach you. Okay, 1 divided by 4 is actually 0.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
because it's an integer. So anything, I mean, 1 divided by 4, right, give you 0 point something. But integer only takes in what? 0. Only takes the 0 portion. That means they ignore away the decimal values. Then they use 0, go and multiply by 8. 0 times 8 is 0. So the answer is 5.
Oh, okay.
5 plus 0 is 5. So
Oh,
basically that's how it is. Can? Okay, so I think we'll call it a day today. All right. So just try to remember the rules that we have learned so far on C++. Okay, you can go on and read them through first. Okay, if you need, if you need more question, let me know also. I can give you some simple question to code out on your own. Okay, but if not, I'll see you on next Saturday, 4 p.m. Is it okay?
okay, sure.
Can okay. So yeah. So that will be all for today. Any question before I end the class?
No question.
Okay. So regarding the pace, everything okay or not? Or
Everything
you
okay.
okay? So 1.5 hours is fine, right?
Yeah, okay. So what's my homework?
Okay. So you want more homework, right?
Uh, not more, but
Okay lah. A few more lah. Okay. I'll just send it to you. You can try it out. Okay. Try to
wait,
code it out also.
are you able to send me a list of all the homework?
Sure. I will WhatsApp you lor. Yeah, I'll WhatsApp you the homework stuff. You can try it out. Okay, it will be similar to this one also. But I won't tell you what I will tell you which one you need. Okay, and for the recording later on I will just upload to I try to find a way to upload and then share it with you. Can
Okay.
Okay, take care, Dylan. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.